Well, today I'm out at my local lake. You know, I'm done with something. There's something in my fishing arsenal that I've had since I began kayak fishing, and I'm done with it. I've had all I can take. You want to find out what it is? Well, you better stick around for the full video. Let's go. All right, guys, so you saw the little intro there. That might have been embellishing a little bit, but you can probably guess what I'm talking about today is the kayak crate. You know, back when I first got my kayak, that was one of the essentials. I had, let's see, essential things that I had to have. Number one was my PFD. You got to have your PFD. I've done videos on it. I've preached about it. You got to have it. I won't say no more. You got to have it one more time. So anyway, you know, you got to have fishing poles and you got to have fishing tackle. So the go-to fishing tackle storage when I first got my kayak, and for most people out there, you know, most people when they first get into kayaking, what they end up getting is just a regular old milk crate, okay? Regular old milk crate that they can store their little tackle boxes in. And that's what I had to start with. Well, over time, that grew, and I'll show you what it grew into. It grew into that big old box back there with every bit of my tackle. Everything I own, tackle wise, well, not everything, but most of my bass fishing lures are in that crate back there. You know, I took it with me every time I went fishing, and I even did a review on it. It's a really good crate. You can check out the review. The purpose of this video is not to bash people that use crates. I mean, that's not my style, okay? The way I see it is to each his own, and it's going to be operator preference. You know, it's going to be what works for you. But now, for me, the crate is dead. At least in this boat, the crate is dead. So, you know, my purpose is to just really show you another way that maybe you can store your tackle, okay? A way that worked for me. So, you know, if you find that your crate has got too heavy or too expensive or just outrageous, you know, this might be another option. So, you know, in the past, like I told you, I took every lure that I had, okay, out fishing. I didn't use but 10% of them. So today, well, I ain't used but 2 or 3 different baits, and they're the ones that I had tied on before I even come over. You start out with your milk crate, and then, you know, everybody's got these brand name crates out there now, and I'll show some of them, you know, over top of me here while I'm talking. The prices have got outrageous. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you're talking like $200, man, for something to just store your tackle in, okay? And the reality is the milk crate was good enough, and it was still probably too much. The reason why, you know, I got rid of my crate is, yeah, it got bulky and it got heavy. So I started out with this Native Slayer Propel 10. That's the boat I had. You know, 70 some odd pounds. I used to haul it in my truck. You know, I'd lift it out, put it in the water, and then I'd load my stuff in it. And my stuff just kept getting bigger and bigger. So the milk crate went to the soft crate. It's just a ton of stuff that I was taking every time and having to haul it in and out of the truck. So just, you know, got to be a pain. And then I was like, well, I'm getting tired of lifting this boat in and out of the truck. So I got me some wheels put on there, okay? And you can see them back there. Okay, those are the Native Sidekicks. I got those on there because I got tired of lifting the boat in and out. You know, I'm still sticking that big crate right there in the back of it and hauling it around, and I'm not using hardly anything in it. Hey, I'm done with them. Now, I'm going to show you what I come up with, how I got rid of my crate and still managed to store all the tackle that I really needed. All right, guys, so I've done some reviews of my setup before, and I'll throw the example, the last one up in the card. You know, I modify from year to year, month to month, day to day. I mean, I come over and something doesn't work for me, so I come up with something new. And I'm sure that's what you all do also. Another thing I do is I get on YouTube and I watch videos and I kind of see what other people are doing. And that's what I figured I'd do for y'all today, kind of show you what I'm doing. So the crate's dead to me. So what did I go to? Because I still got to have tackle. Well, let me show you. Here's in front of me from my seat what my fishing setup looks like. Now you'll see you got two little bags there on the left and right, kind of like looks like saddle bags. Those actually came with my plain old soft crate. But I'm going to say there's other bags out there very similar that someone could use. I just happen to use these because I had them. So what I did was I mounted them, okay, in my gear track to the gear tracks on both of them. Okay, you can see it. All right, so what I do is these are up and out of the way. They don't get in the way when I'm paddling at all. If I want to stand up, I'm standing up back here. So, you know, setting all the way up there, they don't get in the way. Okay, so now we'll take a look and I'll show you what I bring with me. All right, I got two different size storage containers. And I'll look up and see what size these are. These are just regular old planos. They make all kinds of different ones. But as you can see inside of this one, okay, I've got some topwater bait. I've got a bunch of different crankbaits, lipless crankbaits, and I've even got jerk bait. Got all kinds of different varieties, different colors. I've still got a ton more of these. I got a ton more of these back here in the back in my crate. This is all I figure I need. And this is more than enough because today I have used two baits that usually go in here, and they were tied on to my poles before I even came over. I didn't even need a storage crate or any kind of storage for those. All right, you see that. Just put it back in there. Then in this one here, all right, I've got some. This is a little bit cloudy. This is an older one that I had. But, okay, you can see just got some topwater baits. Got a whopper plopper, you know, hula popper, you know, got a frog, you know, just different varieties of baits. You know, the only thing I really don't have in here is a Zara spook, I guess, you know, some kind of walking bait. And I can get one of those put in here. But anyway, that's that. Okay, just a couple baits. All right, so I'll put them back in there. All right, now over here on the other side. All right, same thing, okay. All right, this one here, I believe has jigs in it, okay? Some different size jigs. Got some football heads, swim jigs, you know, different sizes, different colors, okay? Everything you need. I mean, you know, I've got one of everything there. I guess the worst part would be, you know, if I lost one of them, you know, there I'd be. If that bait was really hitting, I'd be in trouble. But I'm willing to take the risk. I think I got enough there. I can tie something else on, find something that works. And then, all right, I've got this other one. Okay, and in this one here, all right, I'm not going to open it, but I got my spinner baits and I got my bladed jigs. Okay, chatter baits and stuff like that. Just all kinds of different colors, different styles. Well, I will open this. I'll show you. I even got, look here, even got a buzz bait or two in there. So, you know, a little bit of everything. And that's all I need, okay? I'm not even gonna use probably any of those today, but they are in here and, you know, it doesn't take up a lot of space. You know, it's up and out of the way. So there you go. Something else, soft plastics. Typically, I used to bring too many. I brought way too many and I didn't need all of them. So I'll show you what I got now. Under here is where I store it, okay? Right here, I got my terminal tackle. And then over here is my soft plastics. The only other thing that I got is this right here, okay? I got some jig heads, different sizes, okay, tucked away right there. And that's it. That's my tackle. That's my tackle setup. That's what I bring now. I mean, real simple, real easy, real light, and it got everything I need. So on my PFD, I got some things else. I've got my whistle. Okay, so if I get in trouble, got it set up on there. Okay, I got my nippers. Got them. So if I need to cut a bait. Okay, you can see here, I've got an old pair of needle nose pliers. I keep those in this vest all the time, so if I'm fishing in a boat, I at least have some. So I've got a pair right here in this little side compartment. Okay. Then in this side compartment, some other things I've got. You know, I got fish grips, got a little tie-off rope, and some scissors. Some scissors, so if I'm fishing, you know, with braided line, I can cut that off. I've also got, you know, this here. This here is what I put my phone on. Right now I got my phone in my hand, but I typically put it on this. You know, it's tethered off to me. So if something happens and I drop it, it don't go in the water. You know, other storage on my boat is right on my vest. And the vest is the most important. I told you that earlier. Okay, so you're sitting here, you know, I'm giving you the ON credits. I'm talking about, you know, what I did in the video and all this and that. But one thing I did want to show you, okay, was this. So over here on the left with this crate and these two boxes, this is what I used to take. All right, here in the middle, this is what I take now after giving the crate the boot. And this here on the right is what I actually use today. I mean, it's crazy. I can't believe I used to have all this. And that's why I gave the crate the boot. I don't actually fish with that many baits, so it's not worth the hassle, the extra weight, turning around, trying to get stuff out of it. I found a easier way, and I showed you all, and that's what works for me. Now, will that work for you? May not, I don't know, but I thought I'd show you something a little bit different. I appreciate you all coming with me today. So I'm done with the crate, and the fish were done with me, because I got skunked today. But hey, it's a beautiful day. It's overcast. It's cooled down, and I'm outdoors. And you know what I always say? Navigate outdoors, because why? Because life's better when you navigate outdoors. And that's for real. I'll see y'all in the next episode. Peace.